A year ago, at draft night, we made a decision to trade Jimmy Butler and start a rebuild, and we thought we got a jump on that with the three pieces we got. Obviously, Lowry being the seventh pick, who's a cornerstone of our direction, and then with Zach LaVine and Chris Dunn. Tonight is just an extension of that, and we walk away tonight feeling really good about the two players we drafted and the direction we're heading.
And Wendell, we get a big guy who, as just a freshman, a young big, that we think, in really studying his game, is, if you look long term, is a guy that can fit with Lowry. And obviously Lowry's a huge part of what we're trying to build here. But versatile in that, he's got size, he's 6'10", he's got a 7'4" wingspan, he can run the floor and play with pace how we want to play. He can go inside, he can go outside. He's got a developing post game, which is rare for young bigs, and he can step out. He showed this year and shoot the ball on the perimeter. Our kind of guy, terrific character. And Chandler, again, I go back to that word versatility, long, athletic, 7'1" wingspan, and has got a lot to his game. He's very good defensively. He can put the ball on the floor. He can slash. He can play in the open court. When we saw him play during the season, at times he could even, bring the ball up the floor in transition.
What's your response to the idea that you just added two guys that are kind of jack of all trades but really master of none, and kind of don't pop in certain things? They may do a lot of things well, but they just don't have like a certain strength that just pops.
Yeah, I mean, again, like in Wendell's case, I think because physically he looks like a man, you don't see that upside. We think there is upside to him. And, the interesting thing is John talked about our scouts and all of us. And John and I spent an enormous amount of time on the road evaluating these guys, and then obviously studying film and doing all the work we do. And we were very high on Wendell. And then when you look at his analytics, and we go back, we have 15 years worth of analytics in the draft. He's extremely, extremely high as far as how he produced, the efficiency that he produced with. So it kind of validates, we cross-check it with what we look at statistically. So, hey, we got, obviously we've got to draft who we think the best prospect is on the board that fits our program, fits our team. And we think Wendell's a guy that does that.
First of all, these guys are going to have to come in and work, first and foremost, and earn time on the floor. The one thing that we'll stress to them from day one is, you're not just going to ever walk in here and be handed minutes on the floor. We still have the core of our team intact. We're anticipating that the young guys that we have on this roster currently, Chris, Zach, Lowry, Denzel, Bobby Portis, you go down the list, a lot of what happens with us this year, as we mentioned before, will be their development and their growth as players. We feel these two players complement the team and the roster that we have very well.